Hi guys, and welcome to the Mag Lounge podcast. In today's episode, I'm joined by Matt Fairley, local singer, songwriter and artist known for his intimate performance and raw storytelling through his music. In this episode, we dive deep into Matt's childhood and family life, as well as his creative journey and what it means to be a musician. And we even touch on topics like physical health and, of course, magazines. So sit back, relax and get inspired. Do you want to tell anybody who doesn't know anything about Matt Fairley or your music a little bit about yourself, what you do?
Yeah. So I'm a songwriter.
Yeah.
I'd say that first, and afterwards I'd say a singer.
Okay.
And that's pretty much all I do, and I'm a father and a husband.
Oh,
and that's pretty much it. Like,
how long have you been singing and songwriting and performing?
Performing, I think I first went on stage when I was about 5.
No way.
Yeah, it was in a theatre production.
Wow.
I remember it really well because it was a Geordie show. It was called Handicap.
Oh, do you know what? Your dad mentioned that to me.
Did he?
Just when you said that,
Yeah.
you said you were first in a theatre show when you were young. So
Yeah.
that'll be it. So, did you grow up with music? Was that your childhood?
Yeah. My dad's a massive thespian. He loves theatre but just loves music. And my mum is. As I'm getting older, I'm learning now from other family members that my mum was just really cool and just loved all the trendy bands.
You
and
didn't realise that when you were...
Oh no, because I just thought my mum was so tightly wound. But then it turned out it was me and my brother that made her like that.
Oh, fair. So she's not
So she's the coolest person. Like my cousin who was on there on Thursday.
Yeah.
He was like, all my music tastes from your mum. I'm like,
way.
what? Like, she never Liz, what? Can't be. And he's like, yeah. She's like, you had her so tightly wound.
Wow.
So yeah, but just music all the time.
Amazing.
Absolutely loved it. I must have enjoyed it because it came to a point where my dad was like, well, you're like a member of the theatre group now, which we're paying subs for, and you're like part of 5 football teams. You're going to have to decide something. And I chose theatre.
Oh,
so
wow.
I just left football and never played again. Not that I was going to be Ronaldo or anything.
Yeah,
I was all right. I was pretty good. But I think I made the right choice, yeah.
Yeah. So, growing up, what did it look like? You were in theatre, you were at school, and as you get older, how did that kind of transpire into what it is today? Was there any sort of major pinpoints in that journey that got you into what you're doing?
Oh, yeah, massively. Well, I had a terrible time at school. I just didn't like... I always remember, because I got kicked out of school when I was 15, just before my GCSEs.
Oh.
And I always remember I had an inspector that had come around before me, and when they were saying you're going to have to sit your GCSEs at home, and I always remember my mum saying, she said it the other week, funny enough, because my nephew's been having some troubles at school, and she's like, well, he is a Fairley, and she said this guy always said there's people who just won't go to school and some kids who can't, and he says Matt can't. He said I couldn't stand the authority. I was from a young age I realised that teachers were there to teach, not to enforce law.
Yeah.
And I couldn't settle. Do
you feel like you might have been more, because I have this discussion often, when you're creatively brained and you find it difficult, because I was always like that in school, as in I wasn't very smart. I wasn't not smart, but I wasn't smart.
No, absolutely, yeah. Academically, I was totally middle of the road. I found subjects interesting. I loved history.
Yeah.
But I found that one thing that I found in my school is that they really just didn't want me to be creative. I wasn't allowed to take music as a subject, even though they said I had to play an instrument. I played the drums, and they said that I wasn't allowed to take music. I wasn't allowed to take drama. So it was that was my 2 interests taken away straight away. So and not that all teachers were bad, but 90% of the teachers there were just obviously to them I was just a problem. And I also remember there was this guy, Mr. Clough, he was a substitute, but he played guitar. And I always remember the first day I met him, he was an English teacher, and he said, you're in a band, aren't you? And I said, no. I said, at the time I wasn't. I was just no, I play the drums. He said, you can tell. I had long hair, and he was like, oh, you can tell, right? And then he every time I'd have an English lesson, he'd say, I brought these CDs in for you. Have a listen to this band, tell us what you think. And then I was just and I got so much work done in this lesson. Wow. So he would just be listen. It's he was an easygoing teacher. He would just be as long as you get your work done, crack, have a chat, do it. But he used to say to me, just there's a CD player, there's some headphones, just listen, like bang on the table, just get the work done.
Wow, that could make a whole difference to your full career. And if you don't have one person that believes in you, you might end up going in a completely
absolutely
wrong direction.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind.
Oh, it's great. I just imagine if like Leonard Cohen was like bashed down. Oh, don't write them poems. Why didn't you write them poems? It'd be like, wouldn't have. It doesn't bear thinking about.
No, not at all.
But yeah, but he was amazing, Mr. Cluffy. Like I remember him saying, "There's a new way he can take his exams. Like for his English exam, if it's the subject, he'd write a song.
Yeah.
He'd write a song, perform it." They were just like, nah. Now they do it all the time. Like funny, I was speaking to somebody and his kid's struggling, and they're saying he's dead. So all of his exams, he's doing it in some sort of art form.
Do you feel like at that stage in your life, you knew it was going to be your future as music?
Yeah, I think so. Like something creative. Because I just couldn't, like, but that was the only thing I liked. Like, once I started playing the drums, which I think I was about 11, I was obsessed. Like, that's all I did. Like, all I would, you know, there was no YouTubes or anything, but I was just looking at, like, old, like, music channels, any old videos. Like, my dad had, like live concert VHSs and that, and I would, like, watch them just purely for, like, the drums, and then I'd just be obsessed. Like, that was it. And then and then it was.
So what followed that then? Did you end up going into were you working a normal job after that when you got a bit older, or?
I was, I think about 12, and my cousin Adam, he was the guy. He gave us the first opportunity.
Wow.
Like I owe him so much because he's in a great band. They're not together anymore. He was in a great band called Baby Rattlesnake.
Okay.
And their drummer couldn't do some gigs, and at the time I was just going to some of the practices with them, and you know when they were having a break I would have a play on the kit, but then the drummer was like typical drummer, just always late, and so in the end he was sit by the kit, man, you just play along to this song so we can finish this song, and then he said, oh, we've got a gig, and I can't remember where it was, but it was a bar, and he said, do you want to come and play? And I remember him having to get in touch with the bar and see him, the drummer's like a kid. But then when I got there, like, I was just one of them. Like, there was beers there. Like the bar, like they didn't like. So he's to blame.
Yeah, all his fault.
Straight away, and then after that, I was just like, wow, what an incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was like such a rush. Like I remember, like I remember, I've got such like. Just a still image in my head of like from buying the kit of this like incredibly blue lit room, like proper like old nightclubby vibes, like sticky floors, like, but it just been like insane, like just like, and then after that I was just like, yeah, this is me, this is me now. I went straight at the time I finished school. I did my work experience with Mix It.
Okay.
And then at that point I was kind of not going to school.
Right.
Like the last 2 years, I was kind of just not going to school. I was just like, I'm just done. Like, and then that's the worst thing. My parents obviously were devastated, like, but they were just like, but at the same time, to my mum and dad's credit, they knew I wasn't just saying, I just don't want to go. I just don't want to go to school. Like, I couldn't deal with it. Like the pressures, like the whole thing. I just couldn't handle it. And after that, they were like, Mix It were actually looking for somebody, and I was already like traveling with them, like I was just doing the sound for the plays. I wasn't involved in any, and so I said, well, is there any chance I could, you know, interview for it? You know, it was just like a member of staff, a part of the team, and then I interviewed, and at first I was just like, oh, I'm never, because there was like obviously like real people there for the job, and I was just like, oh, well, they're not gonna give it to me. Like I was like 16, like, but then obviously I already had a relationship with like most of the people at Mix It. Yeah. So I got the job. Yeah, and it was and then ever since that's literally all I've done. Mix It it's a 2-part thing. It's one part a day service provider for people with disabilities, but then it's also a theatre training organisation that trains councils on laws about learning disability, but we would do it through drama. We changed the lyrics to like well-known songs. Our play was about basically people getting the right to choose in hospital, and it was called Hospital Choices, and we actually changed the lyrics to Gangster's Paradise. because we wanted it to be so like we wanted it to be so stick in your head, and it was all the key information. It was all like, we'll give you information that you can understand.
Yeah, so what was the ones you remember? You know, like in school when you had them like songs that had changed.
Exactly.
And to this day I could probably rhyme them out. So how long have you worked there now then? So since you were 16, do you still work there now?
I do now, yes. And now me and my wife own the company. We've taken it over, We took it over. There's a core group of people that mix it still to this day who I've known since I was 5. Like, there's people and I've got such a, there's majority of them all at mine and Victoria's wedding. One of the gang, Matt, he was an usher. You know, like I've got like these people are genuinely my family. It's not a job, like it's our life.
Was there before that like a turning point in your life where you feel like it's kind of got you to where you are now? Like something that's when I need this to be my focus, I need music to be my thing, or?
Really, it was just a natural progression from doing that first gig with my cousin's band to then getting my own band, and then I don't know how we did it, but we just played like every pub, like, and we were like 16, like we just played I've got so many memories like of the Sunderland pub scene, like we just played everywhere. I remember we were called the Gordons, and we essentially just wanted to be the Libertines. Me and the singer were obsessed with Pete Doherty. I still am. And from there, it was just from gigging and gigging and gigging. Then I was learning like live sound.
Yeah.
And then so I was doing like jobs in the theatres that we were doing shows in, and then I was becoming friends. One thing I learned very early on is, especially as a drummer, make the sound engineer your best mate straight away. Because there's so many venues, especially when you're a young band, that like the sound engineer's on pennies, and they've already been there setting up all day, and they're going to be there 5 hours after everybody else has left. Like, so one thing I learned was make sure I'm friends with whoever's running the lights and sound, particularly sound. Local venues are saying, "Oh, do you want to come and like stage manage? There's a band tonight," and then and they've got no stage manager. You want to come and stage manage, and then it started into doing sound for bands, but at that point, it was just like all I did was either gig or sound. Like it just became just this snowball. Like, but like I say, my personality is, one time I'm obsessed. Yeah. Like, and I was just obsessed
with that thing.
Yeah.
Did it ever feel difficult, or do you feel like it was all very like a natural?
At that time, no.
At that time, no.
Yeah, no.
So did you have some challenges or setbacks?
Not so much setbacks, but I think just personal challenges. Yeah, like right now, like every day, I never think I'm going to write another song again.
Wow.
Although my lyrics aren't clever or you know, the very, very thought out. Like I scrutinise over my lyrics, because to me that's the most important thing. Like the music is very secondary to me. And so especially if I'm which most of my songs are about, like heavier subjects, like I don't want it to ever be like misconstrued or taken out of context. Like so it's kind of become like like a therapy.
The other day when we did Mag Studio sessions, I really felt that in your storytelling, and like it was all in a more like everyone was so respectful of your space, and I think it's because we knew what you were singing was really raw and real. So when you say you don't want anyone taking it the wrong way, I don't think that would be possible. Like,
cheers,
you do it so well.
Thank you.
I suppose from there we'll go over to the Mag Studio sessions then. So we hosted my first one the other day with you last week, and it was a night of an intimate experience with yourself, live music from you, great night of like chatting to people, magazines, beers, everything like that. How did you find the night?
Oh, it was incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was absolutely like incredible. Normally after I play a gig, I'm instantly just like, here's the stuff that was wrong with it. Let's get the list out. Whereas this one, I was like, I haven't watched a single video or anything. I've shared the stuff, but I haven't watched anything.
Is that like a process for you?
Yeah, it takes us a minute to be like, okay, let's see what I. But after that gig, it was the first time in a long time where I thought actually nothing went wrong.
I really don't think it did.
Yeah, and then from what I'm hearing, like even like people like my cousin who. It was so complimentary, but does it in a very specific way. Yeah. He always takes it back a little bit. Like, from his reaction, like, I was just like, I must have been good. Wow. Because he was just like,
nothing.
Incredible, yeah.
Do you feel like that has anything to do with, like, the venue itself? Because we had said, like, we could understand from you sitting on that stool how in an environment like that I could be, like, not intimidating, but everyone's eyes are on you.
Oh, yeah.
No one's in a bar having a drink with a pal, asking about their week and their tea and what they've had for tea. It was literally, like, us watching you.
Yeah.
So you would think in a situation like that, the pressure would be on. And I'm sure you felt it. I'm sure you did. But the way you performed, you would never have thought that. Like, do you feel like the venue actually might have made you feel more at ease? That everyone was respectful of the space?
Yeah, the event like that was so... Once you got over the intimacy of it and how you can see everybody totally clearly, which you can't do in a normal place, like, it instantly put me at ease, because it was just like, well, I don't have to contend with somebody who's just like decided, I'm just gonna have you seen that, you know? It's like, it was just, which is fine, but at the same time, sometimes, you know, when you're playing some of my songs, it can I mean, I tend to laugh, like, there's sometimes where I've stopped playing and I've actually laughed and gone, you know, I'm just singing about, like, suicide, and then you're just, you want a pint, dear, what do you want? And I'm just like, it's alright, just air me heart out here, mate.
I'll just stop.
But no, that's part of that thing as well. Yes. So, but it's such a treat.
Yeah, to have a venue
to have
like
that. Yeah,
absolutely. So, do you feel like the evening itself, did it give you more confidence in your music? I know you struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that gave you more confidence walking away from that? Because what I loved about it is at the end when we did that question and answer, I feel like everyone really did lift you up.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, everyone when they asked questions and got to know you, aside from your music or whether it's about your music, were really willing to be like, just have like the best compliments for you.
Yeah.
And then none of that was fake, and I think you can tell that. Do you feel like that was a confidence booster for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was like, it was just what I need, like just what I needed, because it's a struggle, like writing, like, especially like my biggest thing before I play, and particularly on Thursday, for the type of room and that, was that it's not just the nerves of going, I'm going to sing and play now, I hope I don't muck up or anything. It's like, I'm telling everybody like every inch of me soul.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a one-way street, because I'm not going to go, right, tell me your deepest secrets.
And this is the thing, like, I imagine that of me, I would never stand and read my journal to anyone. Yeah. Even my partner, I do not go near my journal.
Absolutely.
That is mine. But you are like writing your journal essentially, and then you're like displaying it.
Yeah.
And that is a really difficult thing to do. That's
no, absolutely.
Like, you know, when you go to therapy or something, you know, like, you've got to air your feelings, but it's to one person that doesn't know you. When you're airing into a room of people, I just think it's got to be a very difficult, but very like amazing thing for you to be able to do.
It is. No, it is. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, and that's like the balancing act at every gig, because it takes us a minute, like, to be like, right, well, I'm doing it, I'm here now, you know, it's happening. But it does. It's something that I've got to work up. And do you know what helped massively? Because you don't get backstages, and whereas I was able just to be in that room, I was able to warm up as well, which was like, I mean, I'm terrible. I don't look after my voice or anything. Like, I don't. But I noticed a massive difference, like just practicing a few songs beforehand and just chilling out, rather than being like, all right, where's my guitar gone? Who's moving my guitar? Right, can I just squeeze in here? All right, I'm on, am I? Right, okay.
Hectic, yeah. It felt very relaxed, even from your perspective. You had that time where people were coming in, doors shut, you're practicing. I think it hopefully was a really nice experience for you in that sense.
Oh, no, it was. It was like, it couldn't have been more, like, for me as an artist, and especially like how I feel like currently as an artist, it was the perfect thing. Like, cause it was, and I mean, I feel very lucky as well that like everybody in the room got what I was, you know, throwing out, like, because not everybody does. Like, I feel very lucky that I've never had anybody go, oh God, you're awful. Like, but I've had some people question me song subjects, and then take it, not liked, you know, what I've said about the song, and which is fair dues, you know, it's their opinion, but then it's like, well, this is also my life, and this is how I feel, and I'm the one with the microphone. So
and you're the one using that to
exactly
put it out there.
But whereas it's lovely just to have a room where everybody was there for the same reason.
100%. No,
and it was because and it was, I'm still buzzing.
Yeah, I can tell, but we are too. Like, obviously we're going to keep doing these Mag Studio sessions every month, and you were the first one really to do any part of the session. and we think it was a really great way to kickstart it all. We'll hope to do more music events in the future, but like even just that in itself, the whole point in it is people leaving feeling like inspired, not just by the print but by whoever's there, and I think you really did that. So well done for that. But now we'll get into print, now that we've mentioned that. So print magazines, is that something that you've kind of been inspired by in the past? Or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like I used to live for Enemy and Kerrang coming out, so I could find out what gigs were coming, and then strip them apart so I can put all the posters on me bedroom. That. Yeah, just like it was huge. Like they were like my Bible. Like that's how you would know who was coming.
Well, yeah, we talked about this, didn't we? Like now it's all Eventbrite online. That's the best and easiest way to do it. But having like a physical, what's going to be the next concert, and being able to actually look through it is really powerful. Yeah, and
that was honestly, that was it. And because obviously it wasn't like there was no social media. Like if there was talking about an interview with a band, like with a new album, you had to wait for the magazine that they were going to be in to find out when the album's coming out. It used to be exciting, like so exciting. Like I love it. I genuinely miss it. Like that obviously, I mean, it's harder now with kids taking every spare penny in that. But like I've still got like crates and crates of like music magazines, health magazines. Like
it's something you keep, isn't
it? It is something, because every one I've kept, it was for a specific reason.
Yeah.
Like if it was a fitness magazine, maybe it's a program or a dietary thing I wanted to look at, and music, there was so then I've ended up just like keeping them because it's memories, like gig tickets. So like I have memories of.
That's what we say. Like people want something physical they can keep. Like I know if I go to a festival, I'm keeping the wristband, or I'm keeping whatever it is I bought when I was there. Because it's nice to have physical memories of things rather than it all being like, digital on your phone, and you get a new phone and you don't have it anymore. And it's like you want these physical things, don't you, that you can keep. So obviously you picked a few up here today, and I know you picked a few different ones when we were on the night. But we do have in the mag room the most inspirational magazine wall. So it's people that are inspirational, creatives, anyone from the local Northeast sort of community that pick some magazines that maybe have inspired them to do what they're doing, or just inspired them to be a better person. Because I know you said you've read Men's Health and you like to kind of get into your fitness.
Yeah, well, Men's Health, like honestly, like when I was 18, me and a group of friends were in France, and we used to just obviously being in culture of playing in pubs, I just drank all the time, so I got quite heavy. And we all said New Year's Eve, I said right this year. And I always remember because Daniel Craig, the Casino Royale, James Bond was coming out, and it was the shot of him in his blue trunks coming out when he was all buff. And I said, I'm going to look like that. That's my New Year's resolution.
Love it.
And I did. I went and I lost loads of weight, and I'd said I'm going to have a six pack. I said that's when I'll be like goal achieved, and then I got a six pack. Wow. Like so, I about a year and a half, I just grafted. I just ate chicken and broccoli every day, and I was miserable. But at the same time, I loved it because when I was like the thing is my thing I love like now I train not for aesthetics at all. I don't care what I look like with my shirt off. Like if anything, that made us more insecure. I had to have a membership for a gym for about 2 years, and I didn't like people didn't like us, but because obviously you'd have all the big guys who would lift a weight half up and then sit around for 45 minutes. And I would just get in and work, and I would squeeze in around people, and I'd just be like, can I just hop up in between you? And like, but then people like, I mean, it was nice in some ways, I suppose. I'm taking it as a negative, but like I think people were a bit like, God, this guy's just like this guy's grappling. And when I was getting changed in that, people were like, oh, you're in really good shape. It's like you're different look, because I've always been like this build, but like at different points in my life, like currently my wife says I'm in very good shape, which is just nice to hear.
You want to hear.
Social media, it's great. But I find that, especially with everything going on in the world, and my nature being, looking at the more like sorrowful side of things, like social media, all it is such like heartbreaking stuff that like it really started to affect me. That's one of the reasons why I said actually I can't look at my phone anymore, because every time I do, I want to cry.
And like it's because obviously it picks up your algorithm, doesn't it? And if you see one video and it like you watch it for longer than you should, and you get the next one, all of a sudden your feed's filled with stuff that like maybe isn't even something you're interested in, but you're like consumed by it because it's like, ooh, what's this? I'm interested. Because I know for me, like that was a huge thing for a little while. I felt quite anxious about my health. I get it quite often now, but I was seeing videos about that quite often, people getting unwell and all this.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it and being like, that's a huge trigger for me in my partner, where you need to turn your phone off, because it's picking up what you're watching, and then you're getting videos that are going, triggering this anxiety in your head. You need to turn your phone off.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, my algorithm's all dogs and food, which I'm buzzing about. Dogs, food, and coffee. Yeah. Just constantly like videos of dogs, so now I don't see that. But you've got to be cautious of what you're consuming, don't you? And that's why, like, print magazines, you don't have to really have that, because you know what you're picking up.
Exactly.
If I'm picking up Take a Break, I'm probably going to get triggered by something in there. But if I'm picking up, like, one of the ones you've picked, or your travel magazine, I'm not going to get triggered by anything in there.
Yeah.
You're really hand-picking what it is that you are willing to read, isn't
That's it. And I think that's the beauty of it.
Now that people are realising how much it consumes, I do actually think it's going a little bit the other way. Like,
yes,
people in, like, my generation or younger than my generation, like, are starting to kind of go, no, actually I want in-person experiences, and, like, things like your gigs, or, like, people, like, I know if I'm going to go to a gig or, like, say a concert, it's like something you save for. We've talked about this before. You get your ticket, you go along, you get a new outfit, and you have a drink, you get some food while you're there, like, you make it a full experience. It's not just, I'm going to run to a gig tonight. Like, it's usually, it's like a big planned event.
No, that's
so I think it's so nice that people are going, or, like, we have people coming here and go, I've been looking at this for months. I couldn't wait to come in and actually be here and, like, look at the print.
Yeah.
It's, like, all in physical experiences, because people are just sick of being consumed with, like, things that aren't filling them. Like, I'm all for content if it's positive, uplifts you, doesn't distract you from your day, might make you go, do you know what, yeah, I'm going to do this DIY project, that'll be cool, like, that's all great. But when it's something that is maybe, like, what do they call it, like, where it hooks you in, like the
clickbait and all that, I hate that.
I'm not into it. So, like, I think things like what you're doing with your music, and here at the magazine shop as well, like, really trying to get that in-person experience alive and, like, vibrant.
Oh no, absolutely. I think it's an awesome, because it is like that's anybody you speak to, and you know about music and that, it's like it all comes back to physical things. Oh, I remember I had this album.
Yes,
I remember I went to that gig, I've still got the ticket. You know, like it's funny, I was speaking to somebody a few weeks ago and I was saying, I remember when NME, when the Libertines broke up, they did an issue with, it was the Pete or the Carl, so you had to buy either team, and I was like, I can't choose. I've got to get both. And like the lad I was speaking to was like, I've still got them, and I was like, so do I.
Wow.
Like, I've still, like, I was just like proper memories. I remember reading that interview like over and over again, be like, why did you bring like, you know what I mean, like
that information that,
and whereas now, you know, before you know it, you'd be, I mean, someone who just wrote a load of nonsense, because that seems to be the thing now. People just write something and that's fact. Online, there's become a culture where people can just ram nonsense down your throat and go, because they've said it loud enough and often enough that people go, well, that must be right. Must be true. And it's like, well,
very conflicting advice.
That's it. Whereas in print, and, you know, like you say, you knew what you were buying, you knew what you were reading, and, you know, I'm pretty sure the people who were printing them had to do the research before they printed it.
I would hope so.
You know, especially magazines. You know, I'm not necessarily talking about all papers and whatnot, but you know, so that's why I was really drawn to magazines as well, because it was like, it was just what I was interested in.
Yeah.
I didn't have to read around other loads of nonsense. I'm like, well, where's the page I want to, or where's the profile of that picture that I wanted to look at? Like, it was just like, this magazine is totally about what I wanted.
It's for you, what you enjoy.
Was it like,
so what's another one that you would choose other than Men's Health?
I mean, I suppose like all the other three, Mojo, Guitar World, and the prog the prog is mainly just the fact that it's Genesis. Me dad is such that was a huge thing for me musically. My dad was such a big Genesis fan. He's seen them like 50 times. Like, I've seen them like 3 times. I saw them on the last tour that they did. I saw them when they came back in 2008, when they were going to do that one tour, and like my dad was just, I've never seen him like a schoolboy before. He was just like, we're getting tickets. We're going to get tickets for Genesis. And I had to go down to Manchester, and like, it was so like, so it's more for that, like some of my first real big, like, especially learn how to dissect music, and like listening how, like, and Phil Collins being such an amazing drummer, I was really like, I really opened the door for like, oh, how's he what's that fill there, what's that, and like, just gonna rewind that back, what's that, that's how we did it. And, like,
work it out and learn.
I thought prog, particularly Genesis, were great for that, but as well for like harmony, like vocally, because I love harmony. Like, all of my songs that are recorded, there's a version of it where there's like a 10-part harmony.
Really?
Like, I live for harmony. So
I love that.
yeah, like, so that's why I hate doing it all on my own, because on the record, like, I want like harmonies. When I do like when I write a song, like, I think, I got like a 3-part harmony would be great.
So cool.
Then it's hard to put them, like, on Strangers I put a harmony on because I want it to be like, well, I don't want it to sound like what you're not going to get, because like if you listen to Fallen, that's got full on band.
Yeah.
And obviously that's not what you get when you see us. So I wanted it to be like a mix, but then at the same time I was just like, I've always wanted a harmony on it, so like there has to be a harmony on it. Yeah, so that's why like particularly the Genesis there have been on the cover.
Yeah.
But as well, similar for Guitar World, because still to this day, depending on who you ask, I'm a guitarist.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself a very good guitarist, but Keith Richards I absolutely adore.
Oh, do you?
Like, he's a legend. I think he's like one of the last rock and rollers that are left. Like, I think he's
one that everyone knows. Do you know, like, if you don't know who he is,
absolutely,
you know
like, he is an icon. And I just think for him, and as a guitar player, and to live how he's lived and still be able to do it as well as he does, I think it's just incredible. My big reads were like Kerrang and NME, but I couldn't not have a music magazine, if that makes sense. So if the shop didn't have Kerrang and NME, I would have to buy like a Rock Sound or a Metal Hammer, even Metal Hammer, which I wasn't really into at all. But I was just like, it's music. That's fine. You know, but then in the end, you know, I found some bands that were in Metal Hammer that I still love to this day. Yeah. That if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have given them a chance. Yeah, but as well, Mojo again, it's Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
I just think he's one half of the greatest songwriting 100%. Team in the world. I mean, so much like I'm such a big. I mean, I could call my daughter Lennon, because I just love John Lennon. Like, he is like, it's. I'm not really like a, if he was still alive today sort of person, but like he's one person that I would love to hear what music would have brought out in 2026.
Yeah, like what fresh things he brought to the table.
Like, and Paul McCartney at the same time is he's just an incredible, like, you know, just to think, like, you know, in 2-week period you're knocking out Don't Let Me Down, Blackbird, you know, one of the greatest like, I just think he's sensational. So it's kind of like all of these are like part because of the magazine, part because of who's on the cover.
Yeah. Because
they have been like massively influential, like, and still are to this day. Like, I mean, more Keith just for his vibe. Like, I was just think if I could be like 80 and be as cool as Keith Richards,
really
like,
cool.
Yeah, he's just hellish, isn't he?
What is next for you, Matt?
EP release,
Amazing.
Finally, it's like a year late.
Got there in the end.
Yeah, no, it was EP. I'm undecided on 4 or 5 tracks. I've got like 5 tracks recorded.
Okay.
But I'm just, you know, just think, can I hold on to that? Yeah. But then I'm just at the same time, I'm trying to learn not to be as precious
100%.
because I'm always like, but that's for that. I'm saving this, and it's just like, well, it'll never happen if you don't do it now. So just do it now. It's tough because some days, like when I'm really into with doing this EP. Like 5 years ago, I would have just been like, right, see you all in 2 months when it's done.
Yeah.
And just lock myself away and just do it 24 hours a day. Whereas now, obviously, I can't. But, which is frustrating sometimes, because sometimes when I really want to go and work on a song, you know, because that's what songwriters are selfish people. Like, you know, we've got to go, please no one speak to me.
Exactly, yeah.
Please, I'm working on a song. Leave me, you know. It's so selfish. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But now it's kind of made us learn, well, if I've got 10 minutes, let's make it let's do 10 minutes. Let's just get 10 minutes graft done. So yeah, that's next. And then after that, I'm hopefully just going to be gigging.
Amazing.
I'm just planning on kind of similar what happened last year and the year before. I kind of released a few singles, and then from the momentum of that, I was very lucky that it just rolled and rolled. Got some festivals, went on tour. Amazing. Just did some incredible things. So I'm hoping that'll be
coming up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the moment, there's no scheduled festivals or tours, but
no, not at the minute. I had to make the conscious effort. You know, being a father as well.
It's a lot.
It is a lot, and you know, and I had to decide, well, if I wanted to do my EP properly as well, because for years as well, I've always been like, that's Harried. Just put that out. It's as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
Whereas I was a bit like, there's always been something, bar pieces of me, which the wonderful Caleb Neff produced.
Amazing.
And arranged. That song, bar my vocal, is perfect.
Yeah.
My vocal, I'm like, if you got rid of that, the song is musically perfect. But every other song I've always been like, I wish. But at the time, whatever pressure I felt, I was just like, well, it has to be out now. Whereas for the EP, I was like, no, if I'm going to do, especially the songs that are on it, I was just like, they have to be. Because they're so personal and they're so like, I can't, even though there's really only me that cares, like I have to do it for myself. Like, I had to, so it has taken much longer than I anticipated.
But at least you've had that time to really be confident with what you're putting out.
That's
I think
it.
you're always going to feel a little bit of nerves, but I think if it doesn't make you a little bit anxious, it's not worth putting out.
No, I think so.
For you, it's always going to be a bit scary because they're all quite vulnerable moments for yourself.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was probably the best decision for you.
Oh,
taking that time.
yeah. No, absolutely.
No, that's really exciting. So I've got one last question before we wrap up. So one piece of advice or anything that you live by within your career that you've heard that you want the next guest to hear.
That's incredibly tough.
It is.
It is ridiculous. I'm not the guy to give advice.
I'll give you a minute.
For me, honestly, is one thing that I've found, especially since I've become like a solo artist, because it was different when I was in a band. Like, we kind of just kind of played. Like, we didn't really think about anything more of like what we were doing. Like, didn't. Whereas now I feel like there's so many disingenuous songwriters. Like, everybody's trying to be cool or write like this great metaphor. And one thing that, like, for me is just be honest, because people can see right through it, like, instantly. Like, people can see if you're playing a part or not, and you can come across saying, this song is, I wrote this. People know as soon as you start playing. People know.
I totally agree.
Like, I mean, some songs, I was practicing a song that was meant to play on Thursday, but when I was practicing it, I was like, it's too, I don't want to do it, because it's just too much.
Yeah.
So, like, and I know that's probably people saying, well, that's ridiculous. Who do you think he is? Saying,
I think
it's too raw for, like.
Sometimes though, that is how you're feeling in that moment.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But like, all my favourite songwriters leave it on the page. Like, you can tell, like, when you go and see them, that they are living that moment. Like, and then I've seen people who, don't get us wrong, have been great live, but then it's like, you don't believe a single word you're saying.
Well, yeah. What's
great spectacle, but what is this?
Yeah, is it real? Is it raw? Yeah.
And that's it. And as well, it's another thing just from a songwriting thing, is never expect a room to shut up for you. Because so many songwriters think, well, I'm about to play my song, so everyone's naturally in this pub who've come for a drink and not to hear me, we're all going to be quiet. Like, I've never ever, I'm very, very lucky that people say to me, you silence that room. Like, I don't hear it. I sing with my eyes shut. Like, I am in
your zone.
Yeah, I don't hear at all what's going on. But there's a lot of people who just think, well, I'm on stage, so people have to now be quiet for me. And I just think it's like, it's not a way to go on. You've got to earn that. Yeah. You've got to earn the silence. You've got to earn the right for people to listen.
Yeah.
Someone's coming into a place where, yes, okay, they know there's music on, but they're not coming to see you. You've got to earn their time.
Their time. They want to hear that and go, I want to be quiet for this.
And I think because a lot of songwriters, they get, and obviously because it's euphoric, it's soul destroying, it's like, it can be everything and nothing. So I think some songwriters take that and make it a bit of a chip on the shoulder and go, well, I've poured my heart and soul into this song, so
and no one's listening.
Everyone has to be quiet. And it's like, just say it like you mean it, and people will listen. Understand. And that's something I learned really quick. Like, I'm like I say, I'm not the type of person to be like, well, I'm about to sing, so I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah.
I'll
Sometimes people respect that more, like that you're able to let them make that decision on their own.
That's it, because it's like, And until you're selling out venues and everybody there has come to see you, and even then, I've been to some gigs and I'm just like, the noise of this audience, like, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, but again, that's their right. Like, they paid you money. If you want to sit and talk to it, that's okay. Like, just never expect it. It's not a given. Like, you've got to really earn it. Like, and I think that's possibly why I've been very lucky in the responses I've had, because when I'm singing about the stuff that I sing about, it is literally my life. It's like, especially the set on Thursday was like literally the last 10 years of my life.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely great advice. I think that's. But thank you so much for coming down.
No, thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was lovely to chat to you.
Thank you very much.